Like the McCarthy-era witch hunts of the 1950s, your campaign of fear and repression is eating away at foundational values of our democracy. Back then, it took one voice, Attorney Joseph Welch, to cut through the hysteria with the simple question that marked the beginning of the end of that shameful era. He asked Senator McCarthy, "Have you no sense of decency?" And I would ask you the same, Secretary Rubio. But you have shown through your words and your actions what the answer is. And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State.
He says, let me say this, I don't deport anybody, and I don't snatch anybody. The State Department does not have officers in the street snatching everybody. What I do is revoke visas. And it's very simple. A visa is not a right. It is a privilege. People apply for student visas to come into the United States and study. And if you tell me that you're coming to the United States to lead campus crusades, to take over libraries and try to burn down buildings and acts of violence, we're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what Ms. Ostork did?
We're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what she did? Come on, Mr. Secretary.
And every single one of these cases, the factors are different.
Senator,
the bottom line is, if you're coming here to stir up trouble on our campuses, we will deny you a visa. And if you have a
First
visa
Amendment
and we find you,
to
we'll revoke
living in
it.
the United States?
And we're going to do more. There are more coming.
This exchange captures a sharp and revealing moment in a Senate hearing where policy, personality, and political tension all collide. Senator Marco Rubio finds himself directly challenged, not just on policy decisions, but on his leadership and judgment, prompting a response that quickly shifts the tone of the room. What begins as a critique rooted in historical comparison evolves into a broader debate about government priorities, enforcement of laws, and the role of leadership in shaping policy outcomes. These types of exchanges are not uncommon in Washington, but what makes this one stand out is the clarity with which both sides present fundamentally different views of responsibility and accountability. At its core, this moment is about more than just a disagreement. It reflects the deeper divisions that continue to define debates over immigration, spending, and the direction of U.S. policy both at home and abroad.
I respond.
You may sit.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job, based on what I know.
Well, that's just a flippant statement, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
You may.
I didn't ask.
Senator, please let the Secretary have
I'd be
the floor.
happy to, but then I can respond to his.
Your time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
Well,
your remarks do not represent the view of this committee.
Well, Mr.
Secretary,
Chairman,
please.
Well, I'd like to. I can't respond to everything he said because much of these are untrue, but I'll go through a few. First of all, I'm actually very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation. I don't regret psychosocial support services.
I raised Sudan, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond,
Senator, I'd ask you to suspend. You had 7 straight minutes of
I chose to
railing
use my time that way, Mr. Chairman. That's my right to
Please
use my
suspend
time that way.
Secretary Rubio.
Well, I can go on. I mean, there's other things here. We spent $227,000 for Big Cat's YouTube channel from USAID. We spent $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, whatever the hell that means. So I can go on and on. I got the list here, and there's more. I didn't even bring the whole list. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to defend.
Senator,
I'm sorry,
please,
Mr. Chairman.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated
Senator,
comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor. You had
Secretary
your time.
Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States because he hasn't done it under oath.
Here's another point, okay? There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy. No judge can tell me how I have to outreach to a foreign partner or what I need to say to them. And if I do reach to that foreign partner and talk to them, I am under no obligation to share that with the judiciary branch. Just like a judge cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister of Russia, they cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister or the president of El Salvador. And if I did negotiate with them, which we have responded to them, and we've told them we've had communications with the president of El Salvador, I am under no obligation under our division of powers in this country and to share with the judicial branch how I conducted diplomacy of the United States. It would actually be counterproductive. If I started sharing with courts, or frankly with the media, my conversations with foreign leaders and all of their details, no foreign leader would talk to me again. and we would break trust with them. So I have complied with every court order. What I won't comply with is an order to disclose what I'm saying and what we're talking about with a foreign leader, because then they won't talk to me. Diplomacy doesn't work that way. About the student visas, let me say this. I don't deport anybody, and I don't snatch anybody. The State Department does not have officers in the street snatching everybody. What I do is revoke visas. And it's very simple. A visa is not a right. It is a privilege. People apply for student visas to come into the United States and study. And if you tell me that you're coming to the United States to lead campus crusades, to take over libraries and try to burn down buildings and acts of violence, we're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what Ms. Ozturk did?
We're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what she did? Come on, Mr. Secretary.
And every single one of these cases, the factors are different.
Senator,
the bottom line is, if you're coming here to stir up trouble on our campuses, we will deny you a visa. And if you have a visa,
First Amendment apply to
we'll revoke
living in the United States?
And we're going to do more. There are more coming. We're going to continue to revoke the visas of people who are here as guests and are disrupting our higher education facilities. People are paying money. These kids pay money to go to school, and they have to walk through a bunch of lunatics
to the
who are
tough
here on student
newspapers
visas.
disrupting the
Simple
foreign
as
policy of the United States.
I want to do more. I hope we can find more of these people.
That's pathetic, Mr.
In fact,
Secretary.
the other day, some guys led a riot. I forgot what university it was, and I asked, please, can you find the arrest records of all the people that were arrested at that riot at that campus? Because if any of them have a visa, we're going to revoke it.
I feel so much safer when you lock up people like Ms. Ozturk, Mr. Secretary.
We've had enough time on the subject.
What stands out most in this exchange is the contrast in approach. On one side, the criticism focuses on tone, precedent, and concerns about broader implications of policy decisions. On the other, the response centers on enforcement, priorities, and a defense of specific actions taken, particularly around visa policy and government spending. Rubio's argument emphasizes a clear distinction between rights and privileges, particularly when it comes to visa access, while also raising questions about how public funds are used and whether certain expenditures align with national priorities. Meanwhile, critics frame their concerns around civil liberties, proportionality, and the potential impact of such policies on democratic values. This dynamic reflects a recurring theme in political discourse, where the same set of actions can be interpreted in very different ways depending on perspective. It also raises an important question: should policy be judged primarily on intent, outcome, or broader implication? And for viewers, the key takeaway becomes understanding not just what was said, but how each side frames the issue to support its position. As this exchange concludes, it highlights the broader challenge of balancing enforcement, accountability, and political messaging in a highly polarized environment. Moments like this don't just shape individual reputations, they influence how policy debates are understood by the public and how institutions respond under scrutiny. For some, this exchange may reinforce confidence in strong, direct responses to criticism and a focus on enforcement. For others, it may raise concerns about tone, interpretation, and the potential consequences of such approaches in a broader policy context. Ultimately, the significance of this moment lies in how it reflects the ongoing tension between competing priorities: security, accountability, and civil liberties, all playing out in real time. What do you think? Was this a strong and necessary response, or does it raise important concerns about how these issues are being handled? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you value clear, balanced, and fact-based analysis, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow for more in-depth coverage of the stories shaping today's political landscape.